Hey everybody, it's Candycane Jane. I have just finishing up his promotional video, Bbatts, about to join me on Discord, and he is just going to be here at any moment. Let's see. Hey!
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Oh my god. I'm excited.
Oh yeah? That's
I
good.
am.
That's good. So,
I love talking.
you love talking, that's fair. Well, I guess I'm gonna just get on straight into the questions then, okay?
All right.
So, first question on the line. Gaylee Summit 3 is coming up. What's the best result you're hoping for with it? And what's the worst scenario that you fear?
I'm a very much a peaks and lows player. That's something that I've always like felt about myself. Like every time I enter a tournament, I've told this to a lot of people. Like every time I enter a tournament, I'm horrified of my round one more than I am about facing the number one seed. Like that's just how I feel. Like I'm scared of fighting my round one because I know that there is going to be a day where I fight my round one and I will be worse than like I will just not be as good as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, the best result I'm hoping for is first, and the worst result I'm hoping for is 13th. Like that which is obviously the range, but I know that on my best day I'm better than everyone else who's going to play that game against me, and on my worst day I'm worse than everyone else who's going to play that game against me.
Yeah.
And I gotta balance it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And like in terms of how good you are, like you have had a fucking meteoric rise in the past 2 years, and it's practically all due to net play grind, as you ostensibly refuse to solo play. That's
That is true.
That's so
Oh
swag,
God,
bro.
how did you know that?
That's so swag, bro. And like, in what ways do you feel that the fact that you only train by playing people sets you apart from the people who take more traditional paths?
I think what it does is it allows me consciously and subconsciously to be more used to adapting to my opponent. I think when you're playing like a solo practice really can only benefit you, and it's something I probably should do more. But when people don't spend the time actually fighting people, and they spend the time grinding in the lab nonstop, you're forgetting that you're not playing against a computer. You're playing against a person with habits. You're playing against your opponent who's going to repeat things. The best players in the world will repeat things, and they will not change up key scenarios because we're human. We do what's comfortable. And like as someone who is like kind of getting better on net play and someone who's kind of only getting better by playing people, I feel like faster than a lot of players that I've fought, faster than a lot of players, I have gotten better at like picking out specific moments and seeing what scenarios work against humans. What scenarios do people fall into? What traps can I set? What habits do most players have that I can start calling out? And I think that that's allowed me to kind of be able to beat a lot of really solid players that, according to my skill at the time, I probably should have been way worse than.
That's a extremely insightful answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, coming up, this is like my own most burning question. Like, this is
Okay.
the one that I really want to ask you. So, one of your friends talked about how you two met playing Mafia, and he said, and I quote, "You thought you were a god of the game." In my research of you, I've seen multiple stories of you being a big-headed kid when you first joined, yet the person I see more recently and the person I'm talking to is a lot more humble. Though you yourself, in context of Swedish Delight Sweeping and Local, stated, "I need my ego to be maintained to some level." How do you feel Melee and your ego have intertwined in both effective and ineffective ways?
I know I said that, but now I'm trying to figure out when the fuck did I say that? Okay. Okay, Melee and my ego. I think I've always been a believer in a competition, you need to be able to walk in and whether you like it or not, and whether you like, you need to think that you're better than your opponent. Like, there's nothing, because, like, I've said this to a lot of people, actually. I'm going to say that all the time, because I love talking about, like, stuff like this, because I think it's the most interesting part of competition. It's, when you play a set of Melee, you are sitting next to your opponent, and you are basically saying, I am better than you at taking 3 out of 5 games. Mm-hmm. I can take 12 stocks in 3 games before you can. Just that is the question posed to both of you. You are saying, I think I can win, because if I didn't think I could win, I wouldn't be sitting here next to you. I would not be at a tournament if I didn't think I could win. I've always been, I've always struggled entering things that I know I'm not going to win, or that I know that I can't win. Because, like, I've entered things and lost. And it's like, when I entered Riptide, or when I entered SmashCon, I wasn't going in thinking, I'm going to fucking win this thing free. But, like, I can't enter something when I, like, can't see myself doing really well. And the reason why is because I think that having some level of ego in competition is just so important to not just to, like, performing well, but improving. Because there's nothing that makes you get back on the grind harder than an ego check. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that does. And an ego destruction almost kills the grind. I've learned that one too. That's the one that'll kill it. Like when I enter something and I haven't gone 0-2 in like a while. Humble brag, but I haven't gone 0-2 in a while. But like when I but like when I had really bad runs and really bad moments, that would hurt me. But when I had those runs that it was like I placed a little bit worse than what I was seeded. Those ego checks. It's like, you are not, like, you can do this, you know you can, and people expect you to, but you're not there yet. Those runs, they make me strive harder. Mm-hmm. I think it is really important to my improvement as a player to see myself as better than I was for a while. And now that I've finally got into a skill level where I think I can beat 99% of players on my best day, or like I think I can do really well in a lot of places, it's allowed me to kind of sit back into a little bit more of a humble standpoint, because I've seen the work that I've put in so far. And like, I think the other thing the ego was I'm a net play kid, right? People didn't value us very early on to the net play generation. So I kind of had to, I had to show to people that, like, no, I am good. Like, this isn't a fluke. This isn't me like grinding people out. I'm good at this game, and if you're going to beat me, you need to be better than me. And I think that helped me a lot as well in terms of my standing with people, and I think people came to respect my ability to play the game faster than I think some others, just because of that. Just because I would say, like, no, you're not losing because of Peach on net play. You're losing because I outplayed you. like because I'm good as fuck. like that's all I could say.
And you need that, and you need to feel that. You need to have that sort of an ego, and you absolutely need to feel that.
I think that it was really important. Not necessarily that I needed it. I think it helped me improve as much as I did, because as I felt that ego, I knew that I wasn't there yet. Because that was a year ago. And I know that I'm still not exactly where I want to be. I felt myself get really close, but I'm not exactly there yet. Mm-hmm. But
have there ever been times that it's bit you in the ass?
Oh, 100%. Every time I lose. Every time I lose, and then people go like, "You said you were going to win, or you said you were going to do well," and I go, "Yeah, I did." Yeah. There's not much I can say. I said, the same thing I said earlier. I said I could take 3 games out of 5 over everyone else here, and I couldn't. Mm-hmm. But I'll take it next time.
Yeah.
I'll take it next time, and I know I have the ability to. Yeah. That's why I entered like over 100 tournaments. I think the number came out to like over 120 or 110 tournaments over quarantine. Mm-hmm. Like over that year-long period, I entered 110. Which should tell you, like, I for the record, a lot of them weren't good.
Yeah, it was since listed on your Smash GG page is actually 196. Since
that's so much.
Since the
and that doesn't count like the 15 challenge ones.
Yeah, that doesn't count any of the challenge ones. That doesn't count like any of the time that you've spent practicing with other people. Like, yeah, absolutely. Your improvement in so little time cannot be understated. Like, it's literally just been since March of 2020 that those 190 tournaments have happened.
Wait, 190 since March of 2020?
Yes. And
oh my god, I thought it was going to be like 140. That's so much more.
Yeah,
what have I done with my life?
You've improved a lot. And like with that improvement is greater expectation. Like, people will be expecting you to make top 8 in like every single major that you get to. Like, and earlier you said that you never feel more scared than in your round 1. Well, you've also gone on record saying that like you don't fear melee except for when you are absolutely expected to beat the person. So going forward, how do you think that mental block is going to affect you as you go forward and like as you go from being the underdog to the expected victor?
I think I'm in that phase right now. Because I am in the going forward phase. I've experienced, like, for the first time, like, I'm still entering a decent amount of net play tournaments, right? Like, a lot of TMTs and stuff. And I'm experiencing, and even in my region, because I'm now a PR player in Jersey, I'm experiencing, like, this is what it's like being expected to make winter semis of a Jersey regional. Mm-hmm. Like I'm having last hit games with everybody. But I'm doing it. And I think the reason why is, like, that expectation to me, I've learned to, post round 1, because I'm still horrified at my round 1, honestly. But post round 1, when it comes to round 2, round 3, I'm like, all right, I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. Mm-hmm. Those are the two outcomes that are going to happen once I sit down at this table. So I can't be upset if I lose. I can't sit there and go, shouldn't have lost, fuck, like now, like, everyone's gonna think I'm bad. Because the thing is, Melee gives you a lot of mistakes. I'm allowed to lose a set before I get knocked out of the tournament. I'm allowed to lose a lot of games before I get knocked out of the tournament. And, like, if I can't prove that I'm as good as I am in that much of a margin of error, then I'm not there yet. I'm not good. Like, if I can't place where I wanted to place, then I didn't deserve to place there, and I have to fix stuff. Like, and I think that's helped me, like, being more gracious when I lose, in a sense. Like, I don't think I've ever been, like, a big rager. I'm a sad guy when I lose for a bit. I won't lie. I'm a sad boy when I lose. But I think that expectation, being seen as, like, someone who's good enough to beat all these people has helped me, has helped me see the value in, like, not caring about that. Mm-hmm. Like, if I lose to someone, they deserve to beat me, whether they're bottom seed or they're number 1. Like, they deserve to beat me if they took a set off me. I'm never not trying. Like, I'll say, like, oh, I threw. Like, I've definitely told like J-Flex from Jersey, I was like, I think I threw our last set. Because I feel like I choked out some execution. But he deserved to beat me because he capitalized on my mistakes and he beat me. Yeah. And there's nothing I could do about that.
Yeah.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll take it.
I think that you answered it in so many words. What I would take as like the most simplistic answer from that is just like, you've transformed this viewpoint of having fear for it to having this viewpoint of understanding that you deserve to lose in contexts where you lose, and that it sounds almost like you're using this as motivation as well, to prove to yourself that you are as good as people think and as you think.
Yeah, so. And that's helped me on the improvement a lot as well, because as most people do, I think, while improving, there is an element of imposter syndrome that I think was elevated a lot by being a netplay kid. Mm-hmm. Because even today, as I beat people, like, as I perform in region, out of region, in person, online, there will still be people when I beat them online who go, you didn't deserve that. Like, it was online, it doesn't count, or it didn't matter, and stuff like that. And I think that early on in that play, when people would say that, I would feel kind of sad. Because that was an ego thing for me. It was like I think I'm good, and people assume because I'm a netplay kid that I'm not good. That my wins are fraudulent, or when I beat people, they're fraudulent, etc., etc. So I'll say that getting over that was a hard one, but that has allowed me to get that thinking. Not only when I lose, I deserve to lose, but when I win, I deserve to win. Like, no matter what happened, I that's helped a lot.
Especially considering the character you play, which allows me to segue into one of the last questions that I have. Peach, at anything below, at anything above the most bottom of levels, is considered to be a rather honest character, all in all. Like, she has to really work for what she gets. And I've heard you say that Peach's tools appeal to you the most out of all of the tools in Melee. And that phrasing of that framework makes me feel like you have an intense and interesting understanding of the character. And I really want to hear a more specified rundown of what you think those tools are and how they appeal to you.
I think Peach is it's a weird combination of things. One, in a very simple way, I like projectiles, and Peach's turnips are fun. That is the basic number one. But number two is, I think that with Peach, when you other than down smash stuff, when I win neutral, I won.
Yeah.
I had and I think that the tools that she has, whether it's down tilt, up air, etc., I have to know what my opponent's going to do to get an opening. That is an almost it is really hard to gain a clean opening, a clean combo opening without calling out your opponent. You have to do it with down tilts, you have to do it with dash attacks, you have to do it with up tilts, do it with turn approaches, fairs, nairs, etc. You need to know what your opponent's going to do.
Yeah,
and
they're
Peach
all call-out tools.
Yeah, and Peach struggles in every top tier matchup for that reason. But when she finds her opening, she demolishes 9 out of the 10. She destroys them, and she destroys them because she's got such a fun, creative combo game that basically sets up for her best thing, which is, for me, her edge guard, her ability to go off stage and her edge guarding, which is something that I think I've pushed really hard for Peach mains to do against every character. Nothing gets me more mad than when I see a Peach knock a Ganondorf off stage, and then they run to mid and start pulling turnips. And it's no, go out there, kill him. Peach is so good.
That's a sitting duck right out there.
You did the hard work. The hard work is getting your opponent in disadvantage. And then the second you have them at disadvantage, that's when Peach gets to breathe. She gets all right, I've hit you with a strong dash attack. You're at 30. You're about to get to 95. You're about to be off stage, and now you're gonna have to get back against me. And I think that her whole toolkit, her ability to call out her opponent so massively, and make every mistake matter, and just a level of precision that makes me feel really good about myself when I'm able to do the thing I want to do. When I wave dash back down tilt a chic back air, I feel like I'm maybe the best player in the world in that moment. Because it's hard. But when you do it, there is a reward, and it's so nice to know, I'm succeeding at this character who struggles in these matchups with her toolkit, because I know what my opponent's going to do. I know their habits, and that is also the benefit of me playing against people, because I know what humans like to do. I don't know the optimal flow charts for Peach in her punish. I don't. I go based off feel. What I can tell you is that people like to jump sometimes.
Yeah.
And when they jump, I'm there. And they die for it.
Absolutely. This has been amazing. This has been insightful. I've got 2 questions left for you. First off,
go.
Any shout-outs?
I love more questions.
Any shout-outs?
Any shout-outs?
Yeah.
My family, for starters. The basic answer I know, but my mom and dad have been really supportive throughout all this. My brothers have been really supportive. Both played Smash with me when I was young. They kicked my ass for a while. And I think that I think almost single-handedly made it so that I never wanted to lose another game of Smash Brothers again, and that kind of brought me down this path. So blame them when I down smash you in the corner.
Yep.
I would say a lot of the friends that I've had throughout the Smash scene, the people you interviewed, Spike and Bean, they were two people who I've definitely played a lot with. Bon, the Pikachu main from New York, was my first ever like real practice partner, like person I played a ton and got better. So now I'm weirdly good against Pikachu, which is great. I love having a random matchup experience. My crew, the Crack Shack, or like just a lot of guys who have helped me out, and a lot of people have been nice to me. A lot of people in Gaylee have been very nice to me, so them as well. And any final shout outs?
I'm going to shout out
the fans.
I'm going to shout out Dr. Hunk, who had an interview with you earlier
this month. That's true. Actually, I will say Dr. Hunk, Wustunes, however they go by, very, very much was really supportive in getting like an interview process going. And I love their project of interviewing all the good Peach mains. I think they interview Polish, right? Am I not crazy?
Yep. Literally the day before this crazy run that he's currently on.
Yeah, watch that interview because Polish proceeded to become the best player to ever touch the sticks.
Yeah.
Within a week of that interview.
Yeah.
So watch that if you're a Peach main, or you know what, if you just want to be good.
Yeah.
Watch that shit.
If you're curious about Bbatts, there's also that interview with Bbatts on YouTube. Also a very good interview, also very informative. And my absolute final question for you is, why should people root for you in Gaylee Summit 3?
People should root for me because I'm an aggressive player who holds forward, who calls out their opponents really hard, and who attempts to invent new things with a character that has already had a lot of top tier talent. People should root for me because I'm fun. I have a good play style. I'm not afraid to make mistakes, and when I make them, I try to correct them. And when I don't correct them, I lose. And I think people should root for me because I think I'm gonna win, and might as well root for the winner. I love rooting for the winner because then I feel validated at the end of it. So
yeah, you heard it here.
If you want to root for the eventual winner, put your channel points on something. You know, make a lot of money with your invisible points. Then root for your boy.
Root for your boy. You've heard it here first, folks. Once again, I'm Candycane Jane, and this was the interview with the Bbatts for Gaylee Summit 3. Check it out on November 20th. Thank you so much for coming on, Bbatts.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.